outwards. We got one of the better defenses in the NFL in action. Have a lot to deal with. With that,
the new building set to open adjacent to us to the south, but for now they're still playing football at the Georgia Dome, and that's where we're located. Los Angeles and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. No gain on the play there. Second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they just went 4 verts there against cover 2, didn't they?
They did, and it's really an excellent route versus cover 2 because the longer it develops, the more stress is put on the safeties because they're the ones back, each with half the field responsibilities. The corners don't retreat very far in cover 2. They're closer to the line of scrimmage. So now you've got 4 receivers putting pressure on 2 guys covering. Usually you'll find someone open, and that's exactly what they did there. Made the catch and carried it all the way into the end zone.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. On the stop was Aaron Donald. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. On second down, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Ryan. And the catch made here by Sherrod Peak. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options.
Becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Ryan. And he's got Peak. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
On play action, they'll throw. And he will find his man. It's Kenny Brent. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Again, it's Crowell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Now it's Ryan. And this one is incomplete. The former Clemson Tiger, Sharon Peak, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Deep for the Rams, Tavon Austin. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. Give them 11 on the gain there, and that leads to a Los Angeles 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. He'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. Still back there. Conversion.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Now it's Crowell, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them. Quarterbacks like throwing the slant route, but they have to be careful about ball placement. They have to put it in a spot and make sure the receiver has his body in front of the defender.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few 1st downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. They go play action now. Ryan. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our... And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Their big tight end with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Holding offense.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. They'll run with Crowell. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. It's good, and it's 21-10. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it again with Crowell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Bye-bye, Beasley. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Here's Murray for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring... The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Falcons want to continue to give their fans something to cheer about in the second half. The Rams, on the other hand, want to quiet this crowd and turn things around. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. And it ends up working for a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7. Falcons with possession halfway through 1. Matt Ryan hits on the pass into coverage. And after the short pass, he'll score. We're tied back up at 7. Falcons have it at the 42. Ryan to Jones in double coverage. And he'll end up at the 20-yard line before being tackled. Later on the drive, completion is made across the middle of the field. And it's going to be caught for the touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Hector's going to punt it away, and this long run goes for a touchdown. The Falcons go up by 11.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Here's Ryan, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Daniels getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. That one good for 10 yards. And just like that, it's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that plan any down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, Ryan's trying to fit this one into his favorite target. It was once Tony Gonzalez. Then, of course, Roddy White. No question who it is nowadays, Mr. Julio Jones. But this one doesn't get there.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go now. No, check.
They begin with a run by Crowell. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. A big play there for L.A. 71 yards. And this defense, Charles, bottom half of the league against the run. That's not going to help their average.
Not at all. When you're getting ready to play against them, in your scouting report, you're actually counting on a certain number of big-time runs against them. They've given them up all year.
Fresh set of downs here. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They get 1 yard back there to make it second and 14.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On the run, it's Crowell. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Hey, let's go.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Play action. It's Ryan. And he finds his man. It's the former Ram, Jared Cook. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys...
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility to ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground. I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He'll return it from the 6. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Here's the defense for Los Angeles as they head out to set up shop. And with a deficit here, they gave up the field goal last time, but with this deficit, Charles, how important is a stop on this drive?
Extremely. And you know that they heard it on the sideline. You know they heard it going out onto the field, and they're telling it to each other. No more points given up. We've got a chance to still get into this game.
As a defensive guy, you kind of like that challenge. You don't want to be down, but do you like that challenge?
You don't want to be in that position, and you wish you had taken the challenge a little bit earlier. But now, this is it. It has to happen at this point.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Offense. Still first down.
There we go. Nice play, baby. Let's go. Double tight, guys. Double tight.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Aaron Donald able to drop him for a loss of 4. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Ready, Tuesday. Right. Check. 51, check.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Austin's got it left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball, but when you have a receiver of that
They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. Time for a break as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for L.A. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Aaron Donald weighs nearly 300 pounds, but he does have the ability to make himself skinny in a hole, which means it's hard to block him, and that's how he gets upfield and makes the plays we just saw. How about that? His 2nd tackle for a loss in this game.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Ryan. And he finds Cook. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3 yards remaining here on 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
The offense is in total control right now. And while they don't want to be in anything close to a hurry-up, they want to make sure they do things with discipline now. Get to the line of scrimmage, line up correctly, take time off the clock, snap the ball late in the play clock, and run the game out.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL from Atlanta.